Hello. We are recording. Hello, everybody. It's me and my little space cadet here this morning from the Healthy Vibe Tribe. So I'm here to help people feel good inside and out and do my bit to promote working mums. We can do it. We can do it, even if we have little people distracting us. Not a problem. And this is the lovely Suzannah, the Calmpreneur, who is joining us this morning. And we're going to chat a bit about overwhelm resilience and everything about going back to school, just to, help keep everyone calm.
Thanks for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
That's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. So tell me a bit more about what you do and the people that you help.
So I work as an emotional freedom technique practitioner, which is also known as tapping. I've experienced burnout a few times due to anxiety and stress, and it was a few years ago, and I thought I can't carry on like this. I needed to create a business that really fitted in with my mental well-being and also helped other people with theirs as well. And I came across tapping actually years and years ago. I was tapping for money blocks. Probably about 6 or 7 years ago now, and I just kind of came back to it around that time and realized that it was really helping me to just calm my body down, because I always felt like I was on high alert. So now I help other people with tapping. I work one-to-one with people, and I also record videos, tapping videos that people can tap along to for all sorts of things, really, to do with running a business. So like imposter syndrome, like fear of being visible, confidence, the fear of success, and all sorts of other things.
I love tapping. I got into it last year, and it's such a simple but effective technique. And it's just, I love all the sort of energy healing things, and EFT is great because it's combining sort of the way you talk to yourself as well, isn't it? Like
so basically it works on the energy body, as you said. So if people listening or watching have heard of acupuncture before, I'm sure they have. We basically, according to traditional Chinese medicine, we have like loads of meridian channels running through our whole body, and it's almost like a network, like a map of the tube, if you can imagine that. And we get blocks in those energies, so it's really important to think about our personal energy and clear those blocks so that we can be happier and be calmer and be more successful.
That's it. I think for anyone that's lived in London and knowing how frustrating it can be when the tubes this line is working or whatever.
That's it. Yeah, when the line's blocked, like what happens, like mayhem, basically.
Getting stuck in a tunnel. No one wants that. No, and that what we do to ourselves, isn't it? We kind of get that feeling of being trapped and not being able to get out of it, but with the tapping it just helps that energy flow. And it's quite entertaining how different people have different ways of releasing. There's a lot of burping or giggling or
it's really weird actually. There's people feel rude sometimes. They say, I'm yawning, I feel really bad, but actually that's just a sign that the tapping is working. Some people feel a bit sick, some people might get a bit of throat tension, tingling, but what is really lovely is when people do feel that things are changing, like things are moving in the right direction, those blocks are being cleared. People just say that they feel like a sense of clearness and cleanness in their body, which is really good.
And that's it, you can kind of feel it moving around.
It's all good signs. If you get any physical kind of symptoms, that's a good sign. It's a positive sign you're moving in the right direction.
That's it, because there's clearances can be emotional or physical, and the two are linked anyway. Our emotions and our physical well-being. So I love doing it actually with my boy. You can make up silly little tunes and do lots. You're a little bit young yet, aren't you? You can have that one.
Yeah, it's a really good thing for children to learn, actually, just for feeling calmer, like in class, or especially at the moment with all the kind of stress and anxiety about going back to school. There's a lot of fear. There's a lot of, understandably, a lot of worry as well for parents and for the kids. So it's a really nice thing to do. There's so many great tap along videos that you can just find on YouTube for children as well. But you know, for kids especially, they don't necessarily have to follow a script or say anything. It's just about teaching them that if they tap on their body, they can start to feel a little bit calmer just by tapping on their body.
Yeah, it's brilliant. And I was so happy. My little boy came home from school one day and was singing our little tapping song. And I sometimes do that at school, because I think he gets his work done so quick, and then he's bored, I think. So just having that something to do, and it is really positive as well.
Yeah.
And like I say, it's something parents and children can do together, or carers and children. So that's a nice activity.
I know. I wish my children are a bit older now, so they're a bit more resistant to doing the things that mum suggests, because mummy's a bit woo-woo, and like they're like, oh no, I don't want to do that, and I don't want to meditate, and I don't want to do journaling. So I think if you can teach them when they're younger, that's really good, because they kind of will just be used to it then.
That's it, yeah, mine's getting to that stage. I wanted to do some Reiki with him last night, and he said, no, you're not doing any of that. Unless you can wait till I'm asleep. You can do it when I'm asleep. I'm like, okay, well, that's good.
Oh.
But yeah, it has come in so handy when the overwhelm and the, so many different emotions that we've got, all of us are dealing with at the moment, because we don't know really. There's still not a huge amount of clarity about what the future holds.
No, I know, and I think that's just such a massive cause of stress. I think uncertainty is really important, especially if you've struggled with like anxiety or stress, become really stressed out in the past. You kind of you cling on to certainty, and you cling on to routine and schedule, because that really helps you to feel grounded. And when all that goes out the window, it's a bit like, oh, you can find it really difficult to regulate your emotions as well. So tapping's obviously one way. There's loads of different things that you can try. I love meditating as well. I journal every day. I do affirmations, all sorts of things, and breath work as well. I love doing my breath work before bed, just to calm my nervous system down before sleep.
Yes, yeah, I had a really good way of incorporating breathing into your daily routine. When you put the kettle on, what you do, you probably look at your phone, or there's something that needs washing up. But if you use that time and just be still and use that time to do your breathing, you're going to enjoy that cup of tea a whole lot more after.
Yeah, definitely. And that's a really good tip, actually, for anyone that wants to bring in a new habit, is just to have these little triggers that kind of, you think, oh yeah, my habit. So like you said, you could, to start with, just put a post-it note near the kettle or near the tea bag jar, just to remind you, like, breathe. You think, actually, I'm going to put my phone down. I'm just going to do some really nice diaphragmatic breathing, like right into your tummy, right deep down as you can, and then fully out, just really making the most of those big deep breaths, because it does really, really help.
And that's the thing. So with the belly breath, you're giving your lungs, I think it's 25% more capacity. If you're doing the shallow breath, you're not giving your lungs the chance to fully reach capacity, and especially
definitely
the strength that we need in our respiratory system. It's really important to
and we don't breathe properly, like we do. I only learned really about breathing the past couple of years, but I realized how shallow my breath was. Like, I'd never really thought about it before. And we do, because we're so busy, we just don't slow down, so our breathing is much more shallow than it used to be. So that time to just stop and breathe and really appreciate the breath and the mindfulness of the moment is really important. There's an EFT exercise about constrictive breathing that's quite good, where you kind of work out what percentage you feel that your quality of breath is at. So you like breathe in, you think, okay, so maybe it's about 60%, and then you tap so that you can then get really full, like 100% feeling like you're breathing properly after tapping through the points.
Brilliant. Yeah, I think it's so important. I've got introduced to Wim Hof last year, and like you say,
I love Wim.
Yeah, I'm training Els in the cold showers as well.
Oh yeah, I'm a bit wimpy with that, I have to say. So I have it like on normal, and then I gradually start to turn it down, but I do wimp out. I can't stay under it very long, so I need to build my cold water resilience.
yeah. Tell your body what to do. It's just but
have you got his app? His app's really good because he's got his breathing exercises on there. I really recommend that.
That's it. I tend to just go on YouTube, and I think it's about a 10-minute video, which you just listen to and follow. But when I broke my elbow back in October, just knowing that the breath is all about getting the oxygen in that your cells need, every little cell, trillions of cells, crazy. And they're made up of the oxygen, the water. They're like the things that your body needs the most. And knowing that doing that breathing is, you literally feel them. You can feel your body working. It's
brilliant. And I just think as well that it's all scientifically proven. Like, this isn't just a guy who's like teaching people how to breathe. Like, they've actually done so much research on the effectiveness of it now for healing and for anxiety and depression, and it does work. So it's really, really worth people giving it a go, even if they feel a bit skeptical or feel silly that they're like huffing and puffing. It does work.
It's so simple, isn't it? It's so simple. It does take a bit of training to the holding your breath bit, but
I know. I think I'm up to the highest I've got is like a minute and a half, but to start with, I'm always like about maybe between 50 and 60 seconds, and then I can gradually like get better.
That's it. And it's the same as when I first heard about the intermittent fasting, and I think the optimum is kind of 14 to 17 hours. I was like, I don't know about that. But if you can eat your evening meal early and then just delay when you're having your breaking your fast, and it actually is a lot more doable. And again, that's giving your cells a chance to regenerate and use what's already in your body, because I think we can all agree we've probably got too much.
Exactly. I think that that ability to go without food is quite difficult because we're so used to grazing, whereas if you think about how we used to eat, it was very much kind of feast famine. But that actually is really good for our body to, like you say, fasting overnight. So I've not had anything to eat yet. You probably haven't either. I've just I go right through now till lunchtime without having anything, and I feel fine. Like, I'm not actually that hungry. I feel fine.
It's like programming, isn't it? Breakfast, lunch, dinner, and we all it is routines and habits that you learn, so you can unlearn them.
Exactly. There's a good app to measure it on that I use called Zero, and you can put in your fast start time and then your fast end time, and it tells you then you've got like a graph then of your fast, so you can see like how you're doing. You get to measure your mood as well, so that's a really good one to look out for.
That is really interesting, because I'm struggling at the moment with I think I eat too much late on, and then I'm bloated before bedtime. It isn't very nice. But I'm only, I've changed my diet so much by cutting wheat, cutting dairy, cut meat as well. And I think, why is my body still doing this? There's obviously something I'm putting in that isn't agreeing with it. So
I mean, it might be worth looking at, because I have that as well. So I'm veggie as well, like you, and very little dairy now. But FODMAPs, it might be something. If you have like IBS bloating, FODMAPs is something to look at, but it is quite restrictive. But if you do it for a couple of weeks, it just helps you to identify what foods might be kind of setting it off.
Yeah, because usually I see someone, but obviously at the moment you can't get out to.
I know. Not long.
I know. Yeah, so that's and that in itself brings a whole lot of other issues with it. It's just I said to a friend, I went just for a drive the other day with my little boy, just to do something. We didn't even get out of the car. But the amount of memories we were bombarded with as we drove around, and remember when we did that, and remember doing that. And like in a positive way, you know, it's exciting that, you know, we'll be going out and doing those things again, but at the same time it is also overwhelming that it seems like such a long time ago.
I'm going to find it really hard, like, so I'm quite an introvert, so when I do have social stuff I get quite tired. Like I can't do I can never do like 2 social things in one day because I just get so exhausted. So I'm kind of thinking, oh my god, I'm just going to be a nightmare. I'm going to have lost the ability to like talk and have like a group of people in the noise. I'm really sensitive to noise as well, so
I just can't imagine. It's we'll get there, and I think everyone's going to be taking those little steps, aren't they? And we'll just tap our way through it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and I say that about tapping. You just got to remember that you can't cure a condition, particularly, you know, the EFT is not meant for that. You can't make any promises, but it can really help you to heal, and it can help you to feel a lot freer. And I just say every tap is a step closer to your desired outcome, whatever that might be.
That's it. Did you want to just work through a little technique before we finish?
Yeah, so I'll just do a really simple for people who haven't tapped before. Basically, there's 8 tapping points. So we start on what's called the karate chop point on here. Then we move up to what's called the eyebrow point, which is just about here. Side of the eye is here, just on the bone, under the eye, literally just under your pupil for looking forwards, under the nose, and the chin points. Collarbone point is where you can feel your collarbone just come about an inch down, where that nice fleshy bit is. The under the arm, which is my funky chicken one. And then we'll finish on the top of the head. So should we just do something about just feeling calm, like I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed and I want to feel calmer? Would that be good?
Yeah.
Okay, so we always start with the EFT, we start with the negative, so we express how we're feeling, we express the truth of how we're feeling, and then we'll gradually kind of move on to feeling a little bit better. So we'll do 3 or 4 rounds. It'll only take 5 minutes or so. So just tapping on the side of the hand, taking a nice deep breath in and breathing out, and then just thinking about any resistance that you might have in your body, any kind of feelings of overwhelm or stress, just finding that, and we're going to rate the intensity of that feeling on a scale of 1 to 10. So 10 is, oh my god, I feel really stressed out, I'm really overwhelmed, you know, it's really difficult to cope with. And then 0 would be, actually, I'm feeling pretty chill right now. So you can write that down, make a mental note of it, and we're going to come back to that afterwards. So even though, you can just repeat after me, I'm feeling really overwhelmed.
Feeling really overwhelmed.
I accept how I feel.
I accept how I feel.
And I choose to feel calm.
I choose to feel calm.
Even though my body's in fight, flight, freeze mode.
Even though my body's in fight, flight, freeze mode.
I accept myself.
I accept myself.
And choose to feel calm.
And choose to feel calm.
Even though I'm not sure how I'm going to get through these feelings.
Even though I'm not sure how I'm going to get through these feelings.
I choose to deeply and completely.
I choose to deeply and completely.
Love, honour and accept myself.
Love, honour and accept myself.
And then moving up to the eyebrow point, just tapping gently. You can do one side or both, it's up to you. All this overwhelm.
All this overwhelm.
Side of the eye. All this stress.
All the stress.
Under the eye. I can feel it in my body.
I can feel it in my body.
Under the nose. I can feel it in my mind.
I can feel it in my mind.
Chin point. It just feels so horrible.
It just feels so horrible.
Collarbone point. And I just really want to feel calm.
You just really want to feel calm.
Under the arm. I just want to have it all together.
Want to have it all together.
Top of the head. It just feels so out of reach.
This feels so out of reach.
Eyebrow point. So I'm acknowledging these awful feelings.
I'm acknowledging these awful feelings.
Side of the eye. I'm sitting with these feelings.
Sitting with these feelings.
Under the eye. And I'm choosing to be at peace with these feelings.
I'm choosing to be at peace with these feelings.
Under the nose. Knowing that I can choose calmness.
Knowing that I can choose calmness.
Chin point. Knowing that every decision can be made with calmness and ease.
Knowing that every decision can be made with calmness and ease.
Collarbone point. I am in control.
I am in control.
Under the arm. I am in control.
I am in control.
Top of the head. And there's lots of things that I can do.
And there's lots of things that I can do
to feel calmer.
Feel calmer.
Okay, so what I want you to do now, just go back to the eyebrow points, and if anyone's watching or tapping along, just close your eyes, and I'm just going to talk you through what we're going to do here. So just tapping on the eyebrow point, and I just want you to, again, just checking in with your body, just feeling any feelings of discomfort or tension, and moving to the side of the eye. You can almost just scan down your body. And typical areas to feel tension or discomfort are the throat, the chest, the tummy, under the eye. Wherever you feel any tension or pulling or tugging, that's completely okay. I just want you to be curious about that feeling and just think, what is this feeling really about? Under the nose. And I want you to breathe into that feeling. So just breathing in through the nose, into that feeling, and then breathing out. Chin points. Again, breathing into that feeling and breathing out. Collarbone points. Again, breathing, and I want you to just imagine now that feeling, that ball of tugging, that ball of tension or discomfort, whatever it looks like to you. Just imagine that dissipating with every breath. Under the arm, just knowing that through this breathing and through this tapping, you're telling your body and you're helping your body to feel calm. Top of the head, and you're telling your body to feel grounded and safe. Okay, so we're just going to do one last round of normal tapping now, just repeating after me. Oh, I do feel calmer.
I do feel calmer.
Side of the eye. It feels really nice to have gifted myself this time.
Feels really nice to have gifted myself this time.
Under the eye. It only takes 5 or 10 minutes.
It only takes 5 or 10 minutes.
Under the nose, just to calm down my nervous system.
Just to calm down my nervous system.
Chin point, just to take some nice deep breaths.
Just to take some nice deep breaths.
Collarbone point. And I feel calm and in control.
And I feel calm and in control.
Under the arm. And I've got confidence that I can handle this.
And I've got confidence that I can handle this.
Top of the head. Feeling calm and confident through every cell in my body.
Feeling calm and confident through every cell in my body.
That's it. And then we're just going to stop tapping. Just place your hand just on your chest, your heart chakra. Nice deep breath in. And breathing out. And then, like we did at the beginning, again, just tuning into any feelings of overwhelm or stress and rating the intensity on a scale of 1 to 10. And hopefully that has shifted down a little bit. Obviously, that was a really short tapping. So even if it's just come down by 1 or 2, that's amazing. And you know that you can just do this anytime that you need to, really.
Oh, that's lovely. Gosh, I was yawning so much through that.
I know, it does really help, doesn't it? It does help you to feel calmer.
So I was just, as you were talking about the cells, I was thinking there's a little tune that the children, this is the one that my boy does at school or sometimes. So do that little one, literally 1 round. I also tap here.
Oh, right, yeah.
So I think that connects with sort of any anger that needs to come out. It's like beating that chest to let it out.
Yeah.
There's a, so I just, yeah, head, forehead, and then the points that you demonstrated as well.
Yeah, there's other tapping points that you can do. So there's some people find it really weird or triggering to tap on their hands, like they find it a bit uncomfortable. So you can tap, you can just rub what's called your sore spot. And the way to find it is just to have a little feel around, and you'll feel an area that just feels a bit tender. That's called your sore spot.
Yeah.
So when you're saying your setup phrase, you can just gently kind of rub that if the tapping doesn't feel like it's quite right.
Yeah.
And that's quite a calming thing to do. Another thing for motivation, or if you're feeling really like your energy's ebbing, is called the Thymus Thump. And it's, you know, you don't need to thump particularly, but you just basically just here where your thymus gland is, you just kind of firmly just not punch it too hard, but just gently thump on that while you're breathing for about a minute or so, and that can just really help you to feel more energized.
Yeah, brilliant. And obviously the hands and the feet, so many nerve endings there. I was having so I broke my finger as well, which was fun.
Oh, poor you.
Yeah. Having the physio on that, I did come across feeling a little faint. But yeah, there's so many different meridian points that end in the fingers.
And that's a good one for if you're out and about, like, because obviously you might not want to go through a full tapping routine if you're in front of people, so you can just do finger tapping just in the side of your fingers, and that can be really calming as well. So you can kind of do it under a desk as well, so it's like hidden.
Exactly. Oh, that's brilliant. I'm just going to grab a quick sip of water.
That's fine,
because that's very important as well, isn't it?
Yeah, hydration is really important. So before and after you tap, I'd always advise to just make sure that you are fully hydrated, especially afterwards. You can feel quite dry mouthed because you're, you know, if you think about how much water is in our bodies and how much energy that conducts. So when you're moving energy around, you can get a bit like dry mouth. So yeah, have a nice glass of water, or you can see if you're feeling
water, aren't we? And I don't know if you've seen, I'd not thought about it for ages, and a lady I was speaking to yesterday, we were speaking about the composition of water, and a scientist that looked at the effects of it based on different words that were said to it and different music. So the water was left in a container, some had classical music, some had the words "I love you" being said to it, and under the microscope, the composition of the water was just incredible, with the nice, feel-good, gorgeous affirmations and nice classical music. It was like snowflakes and beautiful, really well-structured compositions. And when the water had been told "I hate you" and had rock music or more sort of different forms of things being said to it, the composition was completely different. So
it's amazing, isn't it?
And if you think we're 70% water, and if your body's, all those little cells are all sort of not uniform and not displaying nice things, then you are going to feel bad. So if you're talking to yourself nicely, everything's just more in order, And I'm going to post that in my group, because that's 2 days in a row.
Yeah, I have to look out for that. Yeah, it's really interesting. I love all that stuff, and it does coincide with what Gary Craig, the kind of founder of the EFT, he said the cause of all negative emotion is a disruption in the body's energy supply. I think that's the right wording. I have to check that, and it's so true. Like if you feel off, like if your energy feels off, or if you're angry or cross or guilty, it's really important just check in with yourself every day and think, how am I feeling today? Like, how does my body feel? Because that mind body connection is so important. So it might not be just about your thoughts, it's about, like, have you got a tummy ache, have you got like tension in your shoulders, like what is behind that? So tapping can just help you to feel nice, harmonized.
Being aligned, I think, is if you know that everything you're doing is for the right reasons, for the greatest good, it's going to feel so much easier and so much nicer. And I think it's Joanne Hunter actually calls it janky energy.
Oh, janky energy, yes.
When you're out of alignment, when something isn't right, we don't want that.
Yeah, and that's true. And like some days I wake up and my energy is like that. I just feel weird. Like I think, what is this about? Like I feel a bit sick or guilty. So I just, sometimes there isn't a reason. So I just tap through it and I think, okay, it's just energy. I just need to get rid of this energy somehow.
Obviously pick up energy from other people as well. So it's not always what's just going on with you. Even if you don't know it, subconsciously the news might have been on, something might have filtered through, or an advert that you scrolled past. You just never know. So
exactly. And dreams and things, I think, can have a massive impact as well, because the stuff we get up to in our dreams, we don't often remember it, but God, like I think everyone should tap in the morning just to make sure that everything's working well there.
They've made some great movies, that's for sure. Oh, that's brilliant. So should we just finish with the little song for the children? Or
tell me how that works.
Okay. It's literally, every little cell in my body is healthy, every little cell in my body is well. So they're the 2 lines.
Oh, okay.
You just go through it, and it's just promoting that feel good hormones and all of that.
Oh, lovely. Oh, so I'll follow you then this time.
Start on the head. So every little cell in my body is healthy, every little cell in my body is well. Every little cell in my body is healthy, every little cell in my body is well. Every little cell in my body is healthy, every little cell in my body is well. Every little cell in my body is healthy, every little cell in my body is well. Every little cell in my body is healthy, every little cell in my body is well. Every little cell in my body is healthy, every little cell in my body is well.
Yay!
On and on.
Oh, lovely.
We sometimes make up our own little tunes. Just 2 little lines, whatever's going on, you can incorporate that. And yes, it's a good fun. And I think talking about every little cell just makes you realise, gosh, we are pretty incredible.
We are amazing.
Absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much for sharing your routine with us as well, and all your words of wisdom. And we'll be sharing this YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, wherever you may be, you should be able to.
Thank you so much for having me. And I have got a few tap along videos on YouTube if anyone wants to give it a go and just see how you get on. But you've got nothing to lose, so give it a try.
Exactly. That's fantastic. And what a great way to start Monday and start the month of March. Goodness me.
I know. Thanks, Catherine. Lovely to speak to you.
And you, take care.
Bye.